Automatic response methods of great demand under the background of new energy consumption. Abstract smart grid demand response can reduce the power demand of the grid, improve the stability and reliability of grid operation, especially the ability of the grid to accept intermittent renewable energy generation through demand response. In view of the abnormalities in the analysis of user demand caused by the traditional automatic response of power grid demand, which cause large fluctuation in electricity prices. The automatic response method of grid demand under the background of new energy consumption was designed, constructing the power grid methods, the research object contraction in the time of use, and electricity price model according to the characteristics of power grid operation and setting demand response incentive methods. Analyze the characteristics of user power consumption and grid load, and design the automatic response algorithm for grid demand. At this point, the design of the automatic response method for grid demand in the context of new energy consumption has been complete. Construct an experimental link, and the experimental verification shows that the new response method can electively control electricity price fluctuations and improve user satisfaction. 1. Introduction. At the beginning of the 21st century, our control has experienced a rapid development stage in which the whole society and economy have developed rapidly, and the people's living standards have improved significantly. At the end of the 25-year plan, my country's economy has entered a shifting period, and economic growth has slowed down. The environmental pollution caused by the production and use of electric and energy under the traditional extensive energy use methods has been closely watched by the public. With the advent of a new era of economic development, the growth rate of electricity consumption in the whole society has slowed down, and overall supply and demand of electricity exceeds demand. The regional development of electric energy and efficient and clean utilization will become one of the first tasks to achieve the goal of structure transformation. We can from to access the traditional lines of the power grid and the intelligent demand side response of the user side. Besides, on the previous load data, when the load is high, control the power stage of the equipment. However, the traditional demand side management and control methods are generally designed automatic of manual control methods such as power limiting and opening the switch cannot achieve intelligent power consumption and have a negative impact on the normal production and life of power users. The development of the smart grid provide opportunities for the development of advanced measurement technology. Besides on the above research background, this study carries out the research on the automatic response method of power grid demand on the background of the new energy consumption. In this study, on the basis of this understanding of the existing results item and about the beside several of demand response and the new energy development is analyzed, and the typical load, cover, and power consumption characteristics in the current life are analyzed. On this basis, the paper summarize the impact of new energy consumption on user load and its implement. To design of automatic response methods to create demand under the background of new energy consumption. Based on this study of automatic demand response methods, this paper proposed a new type of automatic demand response method for power grids. Besides on smart technology and the characteristic of the power grid, this method combines internet technology and automatic demand response to construct an automatic demand response method. Through the analysis of the most common used information transmission method, the automatic demand response method of design of the grid under the background of new energy consumption is carried out. The research idea of this paper is shown in Figure 1. According to the above image, the structure of the full text is arranged as follows. First, explaining the background and the significance of the research of the thesis. They introduced the current domestic and foreign research styles of demand response, and finally give the main work and content arrangement of this research. There is no universal accepted unified definition of smart grid, and the focus of various definitions is different according to the definition of the National Institute of Study and Technology. A smart grid is a network system that integrates a variety of digital computing, communication technologies, and services into the power system infrastructure. It goes beyond a two-way flow of energy. Two-way communication and control capabilities of smart meters in home and businesses, and can bring new functions. The user's willingness to participate in demand response project is based on the premise that the benefit of demand response is greater than the cost of demand response. The benefit of demand response is closely related to the demand response incentive method. Especially is mainly the type of demand response incentive, the process of power products, and the price of power products. There are three factors in government subsidies. In this paper, an automatic response match to grid demand under the background of new energy consumption is proposed in order to refer the effect of this match. In this study, an experimental link is constructed to analyze it. The simulation experiment fault is used in this research to complete the experimental process. In response to the energy crisis and environmental degradation, the construction and the research of the energy internet is currently in full swing around the world. In recent years, my country has also introduced a series of favorable policies to support and promote the construction of the energy element as the energy supply system of the energy in the smart grid integrated as and is. In this study, the automatic response match of the power grid demand under the background of new energy consumption was studied. In this study, the construction of a power grid might modelize the research object according to the characteristics of power grid operation to build a process model and set up the demand response incentive matched the characteristics of power consumption and power grid load are analyzed, and the automatic response of power grid demand is designed.